Could the stone circle at Stonehenge be a European medicine wheel? The stones seem to have been used to mark celestial events and rituals. It's possible that Stonehenge served as a kind of astronomical calendar. As far as we know, medicine wheels are used to mark the direction of sunrise on the summer solstice. The University of Valley City in North Dakota, USA, built one in their Medicine Wheel Park. Back in 1992, the university and local indigenous communities joined forces to celebrate and preserve the cultural heritage of the region's peoples, particularly the Mandan, Hidatsa and Arikara. The park's main attraction is a traditional Native American medicine wheel, which is a sacred symbol of harmony, balance and connection. The wheel is made up of stones arranged in a circle with spokes radiating out from the center. Each direction has its own meaning. The Medicine Wheel Park is a great place for people from different cultures to meet and talk. I'm hoping to build a similar bridge through the shaman spirit medicine wheel essences to help people across an ocean of reservations, prejudices and mutual dislike. They are meant to remind us of our own strengths, show us how and where to find them and share them with others. The southernmost known one is the Big Horn Medicine Wheel in Wyoming. It's made up of a central pile of stones surrounded by a circle of stones. It's the first stone circle that was actually called a medicine wheel. However, the meaning of the word medicine differs from the one we are familiar with. For instance, Native Americans talk about snake medicine. For them, medicine is a spiritual force for good, and healing is just one of its uses. Snake medicine is believed to help people, groups, or even the land by asking the spirit of the snake for help. People look for it for insight, wisdom, and recovery. So rituals and ceremonies are performed with the aim of restoring harmony within an individual as well as between people and their environment. In such a broad understanding, peace between peoples could be seen as a goal of such original medicine. When there's no harmony, people suffer. When there is harmony, people recover. If we use the same term, meaning medicine, for a stone circle, we can assume it serves a similar purpose. We entered the medicine wheel in the south. From there we went to the center and on to the east, where many locate the natural beginning. You can also enter the medicine wheel from the east, of course. Just a heads up, what I say here is meant as a suggestion, not as a hard and fast rule. Since we've already been to the south, we'll go west instead. This path stands for our earthly development. If we want to develop not just physically, but also spiritually, this is the way to go. Seasonally, we are in autumn in the west. The sun rises in the east, which symbolizes morning, spring and youth. In the south, it reaches its highest point at midday, the time of summer and adulthood. It sets in the west. This direction describes the evening and the autumn of the year and of life. It is a fundamental concept that transcends cultural boundaries. In modern cultures, we use the term autumn of life, and the shamans recognize it in the context of the medicine wheel. We know instinctively what autumn means, regardless of which culture we belong to. The West is the vital link between the implementation of our plans, characterized by the growth of personality and family in the summer, and the growth break in the winter. It serves to prepare for it. The harvest must be brought in. Hard work is needed once again before the quieter times dawn. In life, autumn stands for adulthood and maturity. For someone who can look back on the stormy beginning as a child and the strength of adolescence. A person who has accumulated a great deal of life experience, who is capable of bearing responsibility and making decisions, and who is now preparing themselves and their family for silence and contemplation, provided everything has gone well so far. It's time for the harvest, both literally and figuratively. If you've lived according to your values and taken care of yourself and your loved ones, it is not impossible that you will have happy grandchildren hopping on your lap. If, on the other hand, you have denied yourself, visited the center too seldom, avoided problems, or tried to drown them in alcohol, then obesity and joint pain and the feeling of having missed something are more likely. However, there is no such thing as too late in the medicine wheel. Spending time in the inner West can provide clues as to which stages of your life you should perhaps revisit. If all goes well, the West as a whole can bring peace and calm, gratitude and generosity. The Thanksgiving feast in the USA is a big deal. It's not a quiet, intimate meal. It's a celebration with friends and family in a convivial atmosphere. Now you take a step back from the physical and turn inwards. You go through the day, the year and your life again in your mind, recognize the lessons you've been taught and process them inwardly. What happens in autumn affects what we experience in winter, just as what happens in spring affects what we experience in summer. What we focus on during the day is processed in the sleep of the night. It's true that wounds heal in dreams. Just make sure you don't bring in your own dramas as well as anything that's not relevant to you and could be disturbing your sleep. It's important to switch off from the day's business, the news, the TV, your mobile phone and your laptop in good time before going to bed. The latter give off blue light, which can really mess with your sleep and your dreams. It's probably best not to take the wars and conflicts of others with you when you go to sleep. People who are dying often feel the need to make peace with those they have hurt, as well as those by whom they've been hurt. People going to bed should behave in a similar way. Sleep brings peace and allows us to process what we have experienced. But this is a northern or a winter theme. In the West, you prepare for it. You wind down the day, the year, your life, and get everything in order before you go to sleep or leave this world. The time to take action is over for this year. It's time to be gentle and wise, to give advice and to stand together, not dominate. In a nutshell, the West is all about experience, knowledge, introspection, insight, coming home and purpose. The essence that carries the qualities of the West, like all medicine wheel combinations, is made up of 5 individual essences of different energies that together can bring the energy of the West to life within us. All of these are in Sunbear's instructions, which became popular where in the West, thanks to his handbook, Earth Astrology, the Medicine Wheel. The flower essence of the West is given to us by the spruce tree. Its keywords are serenity, purification, cheerfulness, and wisdom. The spruce is like a grandfather to whom you can tell secrets for which your parents would scold you. Just as a wise, old and loving grandfather guarantees the protection and inviolability of his grandchild, the spruce creates a safe space where you don't have to prove anything. This essence has a big impact when it comes to reflection. It encourages a loving, wise and humorous approach to looking back. The day's battle is over. You're not directly involved anymore, but look at it with a little inner distance. This helps you to see the funny side of things that used to upset you and to accept when things don't work out as desired. Regain the germ essence of the West with the help of the almond. The almond seed is a great example of how to strike a balance between stillness and action. This essence helps to bring your inner rhythms into sync with your body, soul and emotional needs, and to find a balance between control and letting go, calm and activity. It helps you listen to your inner wisdom and follow the advice you're given. Almond allows you to become whole and thus achieve mastery of your own life on all levels. The essence of the freshly sprouted almond helps to energize the base chakra, ensuring we can provide ourselves with everything that promotes our growth. Almond sprout gives us a solid foundation to build on and helps us make that all-important breakthrough in life. The gemstone of the West is the Snowflake Obsidian. Snowflake Obsidian helps dreamers stay grounded and realistic. It keeps you focused and protects you from outside distractions. The essence is all about grounding, realism, objectivity and realization. It allows you to assess challenges and supports your ability to overcome them. It helps you learn from your mistakes and adapt your behavior and reaction patterns so that you can do better next time. The white snowflakes on this black stone symbolize the light in the darkness. Autumn light. This is the ingredient that Sunbear didn't mention in his book, but I think it's a great addition to the blend. A lot of the environmental essences can only be produced on the fly, depending on the situation. I created my first autumn light essence back in 2001. I got a second chance in 2018. The constellation just has to be right, and you have to be in the right place at the right time. In October 2001, I was at a small reservoir in the Bergisches Land in western Germany at sunrise. The first night frost had come and gone, and the early morning sun was warming the surface of the water. Mist was rising and reflecting the glistening light. The trees along the shore were a mix of dark red, orange and gold, framed by the green of the perennials. The sun was just starting to peek over the horizon, and it was so lovely to see the reflections in the parts of the lake surface that had not yet been touched by its rays. It was cold, and the air was filled with bright colors. Breathing it in relieved any pressure on your chest. You suddenly felt light, confident, relaxed and refreshed. People came by, and even though you normally greet each other here in the countryside, that day it just didn't happen. We looked at each other, sensed that the other person understood what was going on, and stood in reverent silence, marveling at the nature spectacle. One with everything, one with our fellow human beings, a sacred moment. I placed my bowl on the shore of the lake and returned the following morning, thinking that the full moon might be the icing on the cake for this essence. Indeed, the new morning began with the same glow and the deep silence that surrounded me. Autumn light essence offers this stillness, this wonder and presence, which lets all the weight fall from your shoulders. Nothing is as difficult as you thought it would be. All you need to experience something wonderful like this is to open to it and willing to be touched. It's right here among us. All we need to do is take the time to look and appreciate what we see. The essence for the West is rounded off by an animal essence, namely the one of the snake. The West is all about balance, and the snake is the perfect symbol for this. It's the guardian animal of the West. It stands for healing and renewal. It's no surprise that it was chosen to symbolize medical action coiled around the staff of Asclepius. Snake medicine contributes to healing and recovery, even from emotional suffering and stress. Shedding the snake's skin symbolizes growth. The old suit no longer fits, like the old self-image. Snake power therefore belongs to autumn, when the trees shed their leaves and undergo a similar metamorphosis.